Now, let's get Metroid Zero Mission underway. But before I actually start the game, let's actually look at a bit of the manual. Most importantly... Aw, it doesn't want to do that? That's lame. I can't show off the menu with the gamepad. I thought I could. I'm very upset about that. Why would they not do that? I wanted to show off all the little prologue details. Lame. Well, so much for that idea. Well, first off I need to erase a copy. Actually, no, I don't have to erase. Let's just go to U, start game, new game. Yep. And let's go on to normal mode. Planet Zebes. I called this place home once in peaceful times, long before evil haunted the caverns below. Now I shall finally tell the tale of my first battle here, my so-called Zero Mission. And a nice little detail, if you actually pay attention, you can actually hear Samus jumping out of her ship and walking a bit. Obviously I talked over it, but it's a nice little detail alongside this whole face reveal right there. And here we go, Metroid Zero Mission. A game I very much like, and a game I've been really getting ready for the whole stream, the YouTube thing. But yes, starting off we do what happens in the original Metroid, which I have never beaten. I've never beaten the original NES Metroid. That requires too much grinding for my preferences. I've never beaten it. Maybe someday I'll go back... Oh, jeez. Maybe someday I'll go back to try and stream and actually beat the game, but... as of right now, no thank you. So yeah, nice little details that if you come all the way over to the right, you notice you can't get past here without the Morphle, meaning that, especially back in the NES days, you had to go left. You had to start going left, which is very odd, because most games you would start going right. But yes, starting off, we got ourselves a Chozo statue here that we have to sit on, who will then tell us essentially where we need to go. Doesn't tell us how to get there, but more or less, hey, you might want to go this way. Which, this is a very hand-holding game, if you need it to be. Which is, honestly, a reason I kind of like this game. Probably more than other Metroid games, because this is the perfect game for anybody to play looking to get into Metroid. Because there are so many, like, little secrets and whatnot, like this thing right here. I don't have a blaster that's actually good enough to go through all that. But if you know what you're doing, you don't need to. You can just bypass all of that, and that's awesome. Like, there's so many little tricks and stuff like that in this game because of the fact that, yes, there is a normal, like, completion, go for 100%, but there's also the fact that this game can be completed, or beaten, with only 9 items required out of everything in the entire game. This item right here, the long beam, is not one of those 9 required items. Long distance shot with this beam. Hold LMB to fire diagonally. So yeah, we could always go sit on the palm of this little Chozo, well maybe not so little, but on that Chozo statue. But he'll only tell us where we need to go next, which I already know what to do. But yeah, so many different things about this game, like, as I said before, only needing 9 items to actually beat the game is amazing. Like, just how much is actually truly open to the player. Especially if you know what you're doing. As well as this, being a little bit of a... essentially our guide, especially the first time you're playing. Because we have to go that way, spoilers. Because the right side is blocked off until we do. Anyways, let's just go over this way, and this is why. This guy would not spawn here unless we check the left-hand side. But as we go over here, and this guy tells us where he wants us to go next, I guess I should talk about a couple of things about this game. One thing being the endings. There are multiple different endings in this game, just like other Metroid games. And they are most of the endings are tied around 2 things. One being your percentage of item collecting, and the other one being the time it took you to collect everything, or the time to beat the game. So, for example, the worst ending you could get is over 2 hours and less than 100%. Then there is 100% but over 2 hours, under 2 hours but under... no, yeah, over 2 hours but 100%, with the most difficult of the combination being 100% and under 2 hours. Anyways, I got myself some missiles, another required item to beat the game. With that, we can now break red hatches, but we have to use a missile to do that. Oh, and there's other endings, but I'll first deal with this guy, who you do not actually have to fight. You can actually let this guy alone. He's technically a mini-boss, or a boss, depending on how you want to look at things. I actually never killed this guy the first time I ever played this game. Which is a shame, because in his death, he gives you the charge beam, another not required item. Hold B to charge, and then release the fire. Charge attack. Jump with a full power charge. So, yes, if anyone knows Metroid, this essentially works as a mini screw attack. It won't destroy everything, but it can destroy a good amount of things in one hit. And if it destroys them, you don't take any damage. But back to what I was saying before about the endings. It was the four I just talked about. Other endings are 15% on normal mode, 15% on hard mode, and I'll talk about those later. Then, there is... There's like 8 endings, I believe, and I can't remember what one of them required. I know one of them, it was either normal mode or hard mode at over 4 hours, or just playing the game on easy mode. Playing it on easy mode was a guarantee to that one ending. And there was another one, but I can't remember what it was off the top of my head. Also, if you're going with 50% and don't get yourself the charge beam, this room can be a tad annoying. The normal beam, I guess I'll call it, can hit it, but you have to get, like, very close to the edge. To the point of almost ridiculousness. Now, I should also say this right now. For the stream, anyways, I'm mostly going for any percent. If I can find everything, then great. But if I happen to be missing an item too at the end, well, for you two, that'll be fine, because future me will just go out and find the pieces that I'm missing, and that's natural. Future me will just go find the pieces that I'm missing and put them in the video. But for current me, streaming me, well, just gonna have to be stuck with any percent. I had something else I wanted to say. I am mostly gonna, like, try and talk about things, especially for, like, the 15% that I know of, and little bits of secrets that I do know about, but I do not know everything. But one thing I guess I could say is that, back to the whole 15%, is that, as I said before, 9 items are absolutely required to beat this game. Meaning that 6 items, well, upgrades, are up to you. Each upgrade, so every missile tank, every upgrade to a suit counts as 1%. So there's 100 items in the game, and you need 9 to beat the game, but 15 is the limit if you're going for the one particular ending. Also, these bugs only destroyed by bombs, so let them climb on top of you and then bomb them. Otherwise, they will start sucking away your health. We have to kill them to get this door open. So yes, back to what I was saying before, the 15%. 9 items are required, meaning that you have the choice of 6 different items based around what you want to do for upgrade. Do you want to be a HP tank and go for all energy tanks, which are not required? Or do you perhaps want to go for something such as missiles, because basic missiles are very easily replenished, or do you save it for something else that we don't have yet? Something that I don't want to spoil. Perhaps you'd rather wait and... maybe not so much wait, but maybe you'd rather get yourself the long beam. Seeing it more advantageous to get the long beam and use it for fighting than anything else. The only issue with that being... the long beam will help you with normal enemies, but it won't help you with boss fights. Also, that was lucky. I almost didn't make that. Because, spoilers, every boss in this game is only weak to missiles. And another thing that I don't have yet. Charge Shot might do something, but a Charge Shot is not going to be useful without the long beam. Okay, but so far we've been mostly just going back and forth, and I haven't really been talking about where we're going or what we're doing, but for the most part we've been mostly just trying to upgrade ourselves, power ourselves up, to essentially just continue moving onwards. So I had to go to the left to get myself the morph ball, I had to come down here to get myself bombs, or missiles. I needed missiles to get myself bombs, and the bomb, I don't remember if I said it, the morph ball bombs are 100% required to beat the game. Now with the morph ball bombs, we are now going over to the right to move over to, I believe it is Norfair. Yes, but as we go down, we weren't really being sneaky, now worry. Mother Brain now knows that we are here. And I love that. I just love how the eye kind of goes like a dragon as Mother Brain essentially sees us and essentially realizes the threat we pose. Right is stuff for later, so right now we're just going to focus on going to the left. There we go. That's a charge beam screw attack and war. That thing is actually something that we can technically get now, but it will be much easier to get later on. So we're just going to ignore that. The main way we could get that is if we do what is known as bomb jumping, something I'm sure I'll be showing off later on. The idea of bomb jumping is that when you do a morph ball bomb, the morph ball bomb will have you jump into the air. If you time it well, you can get yourself consecutively into the sky with morph ball bombs, so that essentially you just rise up from the ground. It is a great way to get height and a very easy way to not so much break the game, but yeah, essentially break the game by getting the parts that you're not meant to yet, or get items that you weren't originally meant to get. One of them, we might be able to get it now, honestly, I'm just not going to bother to right now, is our first defense upgrade, which I don't want to spoil too much in case anybody ever watches this and never knows Metroid, because I don't want to spoil too much, because you never know. Like, I don't want to be like, oh, it's this and the other thing, and it's just like someone watching for the first time. And I know this game's old. Metroid itself is old. Like this item we got right here. Analysis unconclusive. It is an unknown item. But if you know what that image is that I'm just shooting, you'll know what the item that technically is. I won't spoil it, but just know that this game doesn't really hide the fact of what it is if you know the series. Now, back to the whole items that you need to beat the game. That item, that mysterious item that we just got, is one of them. Also, that was essentially bomb jumping. It was a little bit terrible. Actually, I can probably show it up better in the next area. So, yes, this area, fake floor, we have to follow no matter what. So, the items that we had so far that are required to beat the game is morph ball, missiles, morph ball bombs, the mysterious item, and now the power grip. There might be another item that we have that I'm not thinking about, but they're the ones that I'm currently thinking of. Now, of the 9 items required, 6 of them will be useful for us until the end game. The other 3, which we already have one of them, will be completely useless to us until very much later on. Also, apparently I got a follow on Twitch. Hello there. I'm just going to call you 4. Hello there, 4, and thank you for the follow. I appreciate that, and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Anyways, we mostly came all the way over here just to get ourselves the grip. So with that out of the way, let us go back into Norfair. Also, I really like the elevator sound of... I don't know why. It's a silly little thing. Sometimes it's just the simple things in life that give you pleasure and make you laugh. Anyways, we don't have to go this way, and depending on if you're going for any percent or 15%, you would completely ignore this area, because we're only here for this one missile tank. Oh, I remember something I wanted to talk about before, back about the whole under 2 hours, over 2 hours, is that, as far as I can tell, the in-game timer only, The in-game timer only tracks for when you actually have control of Samus. So things such as transitioning through a door or picking up an item don't count towards the time. However, me just standing here right now doing nothing does. So if you're going for under 2 hours and worrying about, like, little things such as that, you do not have to worry about it. Anyways, we came all the way over to the left side of Norfair. Now we're gonna move over to the right. And if you know this game, there are 2 bosses in this game. Those 2 bosses being represented by those statues that we saw back at the beginning. And yes, this is going to be a bit of a spoiler. Those 2 bosses, at least the heads that we saw, belong to the bosses both named Ridley and Kraid. Now, Kraid actually has a location named after him, so does Ridley, but Kraid is the one that normally you would be fighting first. However, if you know what you're doing, which I can try and show off soon, you can defeat... Apparently, I've never tried it myself, so I'm only going off information that I know of, or slash heard of, but... Oops, shoot. Apparently, you are able to go fight Ridley before you go fight Kraid if you know what you're doing. I've never tried it, nor would I personally recommend it, but hey, there are people much greater than I. Now the Ice Beam, another item that is required. So, Ice Beam, Missile, Power Bomb, Morph Ball, and that strange thing that takes up a... Am I missing something? I feel like I'm missing something. The required items. Morph Ball, Missiles, Morph Ball Bomb. Strange item, this is a save. Oh, I'll worry about saving later on. Trying to think. Because like I said, 3 items are not required. And spoiler, there's gonna be like 3 strange items, like that one that we found before. Then we have Morph Ball Bombs, the Ice Beam, the Grip, Morph Ball Bombs, Missiles, Ice Beam, Grip. Yes. There is one more thing, and I technically mentioned it before, armor upgrade. So yes, we already have 5 out of these 6 required items that actually do something for us right now. Also, these statues here, very nice little detail or fact is that they actually will heal you and restore things such as your missiles when you essentially go into them. They are most of them are optional, but I definitely would recommend it at times, because getting your stuff back, especially if you stay low on health, is a lot more useful than you might ever realize. Let's see, why can I not get that? There we go, got ourselves a missile tank. Let's go down. Get with that guy, and let us essentially get out of here. Okay, this guy. Well, there's 2 things here. One is this guy, one is the floor. You need to be careful, because the floor here will eventually just do that. If you want to go and try and go for 15% or to fight Kraid, freeze this guy over this way, and you'll see this. You go over this way, and just by a little bit of a maze here, which I don't feel like going through, you can get yourself further down into Norfair. Also, apparently that was a breakable block. Interesting. Learning new things every day with this game. I swear. I've played this game so many times and now I keep learning new things. But yes. That's how you would go with 15% to go fight Ridley and go into Ridley. Because, well, again, it depends on how you actually want to be running. Oh shoot, 15%. Personally, I would not go for the item that is required to go there manually if I was doing another 15% run, which I currently have no want or reason to go do that. I did it once on normal mode, and that was good enough. And that was with cheating using save states. I'll worry about saving at the next location. And the fact that if you're going for all the endings, you need to do it both on normal mode and hard mode? No, thank you. Hard mode really changed the game up. I've never been in the game on hard mode, but let's just say that an energy tank, instead of giving you 100 HP, or 100 energy, only will give you an extra 50. Missiles, instead of giving you 5, will give you 2. And I think that was about as far as I got. Like, obviously, things such as Charge Beam, Ice Beam, and all that, they're gonna do their own thing, it's just... I didn't get far enough to actually see how the game ended. But I'm also assuming that bosses are going to be a lot more tougher. But that is a thing for later on. Also, notice, this side is opened up, but this side is not. If you were going for 15% and did not get yourself the long beam, you could either try and do that, which was a wall jump, and get out of here. Or you just break it from the one side, and then when you get to the other side, break it from there. Now, because we got the ice beam, shoot, 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 shoot. Let's go up here, break this thing open, and check out this area. I feel like I might be talking a little bit too fast. But I'll deal with that when the time comes. Go this way, get rid of you, go this way. And we can't go there just yet. But, oh well. Let's go down here and find our next way forward, which... Oh yeah, it was technically shown to us after we got the ice beam. Nope. I actually didn't get... Oh, wait, shoot, 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 shoot. Go back, back, back. I can save this one for later, but I'm greedy. I'm greedy and I want it now. There we go. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2... There we go. Got myself an extra energy tank. And if I know this game well enough, there is another missile tank that I could be getting right now. It's in this room. However, I'm going to save it for when I actually leave this location rather than getting it now. So, yes, here we go. Actually, before I forget, let me go to the left-hand side and let me go save. Because there's actually two things over here, other than just a save, that I missed every time. This opening. It's this one for the longest time. Even when I had a map, because I never really went to the save stations whenever I played this game, because if you know what you're doing, the game doesn't take 2 hours to beat, so it's pretty easy to go through all this.